Dr. Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Steve out on your YouTube, brother, let's go.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Coming Attractions for August 20th, 2026. I want to say hello to everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. Starting off with Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's kind of clear. Channel member, JPRPH1. Yes, Nether's Raid, indeed. Host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. It's bringing the Thursday Things raid, Nether's Network. My partner in crime, the toxic gunslinger himself, the man who cannot be killed. Host of Western Cinema Presents, Action Theater, Saturday Night Karaoke, the CEO of the Outlaw Bill Sports Network, Outlaw Bill. And hello to Jamie Lynn Simons. But my name's Steve, not Bill. I know. Hello to our man from the future, Sashi. All right, so for those of you who are joining from Thursday Things, thank you very much. Yeah, so to kind of go off of that for a second, YouTube does not make things easy. And Tom got screwed over. Paulie's getting screwed over right now. They come at you out of nowhere, you know, with, you know, copyright strikes. They will, you know, they'll take down your channel, but not tell you why, or they'll give you some BS reason. And every once in a long while, someone will get their channel back and everything's all hunky-dory. But most of the time, they don't. And it becomes this long, drawn-out process. And I think a lot of what Tom said tonight is very true, based on what other people have told me. I've been lucky so far, and I think I'm a small enough channel that I think in the scheme of things, they kind of leave me alone. You know, I'll get hit on something for copyright every once in a while. Believe it or not, you know, you would think Unscripted would be the show they would go after. That's the show where I'm the most ranty, you know, even though I try to avoid doing that. But it's the show where I'm the most ranty. It is the show that is where I probably get the most explicit with my language. You know, and it's the show where I hit a lot of pretty tough subjects. And I'm going to be hitting one again this week. You know, and hello to Wakar Ahmed. How's my day going? It is very warm. I am sitting here with the fan in front of me. It's that hot. We've been having when heat index is over 100 like every day this week. It's been a nightmare. Everybody's melting. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. You would think that Unscripted would be the show that I would get hit on the most for content or saying certain words or talking about certain subjects. But the show that I actually get hit on the most is my Twin Peaks show, Live from Sparkwood 21. Believe it or not, that's the one that I always get hit with, the most for like copyright, and it'll be because of, some piece of music that got used. And sometimes I still get hit. Yeah, Dino's had a lot of issues. I'll get hit for music even when we credit the guy we're getting music from. I still get hit sometimes, but that's how it is. I don't count karaoke shows because karaoke shows are the worst when it comes to copyright. And the show that I appear on, which is Bill's Saturday night program, I have fun being on that show, but I don't monetize. Whenever I simulcast that broadcast, I do not monetize it because I know there's no point doing that. You're going to get hit with some kind of copyright, or it's not, it doesn't go against your channel or anything, but you will get hit for copyright. You will get blocked in certain territories. And part of that is sometimes it's like a region thing too. I gotta tell you, to be honest, it's Russia, in areas that those like Eastern European kind of countries that will hit you on that kind of a thing, because it'll just be some guy who's going to come on and say, hey, I own the rights to this or that. And maybe they do and maybe they don't, but you're going to get hit for it. And you can always edit the you can always edit that segment out, but what's the point of airing a karaoke show edited down when you don't have the music? Then you just get the in-between parts where it's just us talking. You're kind of taking the meat out of the show, out of the presentation. And we don't want to do that. When we do watch parties, it's kind of the same thing. When now everyone who does watch parties wants to show the movie on the air because we want to bring good entertainment to people. That's why we do it. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing here? But it's not like, like Tim is bringing up here, like in India, and hello, Tim, in there are certain segments of the world, India being one of them, where you can just put an entire movie out on YouTube, uncut. You don't have to do any commentary over it. You don't have to cut it down. You can just air it as is. In America, it's different. There are copyright guidelines. We got to follow them. And there are, we could always, make it a slideshow and comment on it, and we can put watermarks up on it. That takes time, though. It's very time consuming. And guess what? A lot of people who are on YouTube are not rich. We're regular people with jobs, and we don't always have the time to sit down and, kind of do something like that. It's just easier putting it up on Cosme or Watch Party or, one of those kinds of, platforms. And thank you to the Clue Studio for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. So that's the thing. It is that you can't just come onto YouTube and put on whatever you want, or come on and say whatever you want, or put on whatever. I mean, even if you've bought the rights to put music on, you can still get hit for that. And the thing in the end is that they don't tell you. They don't tell you what the issue is. You kind of have to, it's like they keep moving the goalposts. They keep changing the goals. They keep changing their, hey, follow these guidelines, but then they keep changing the guidelines. So it's a pain in the neck sometimes. I mean, when Bill and I do watch parties, I have to go on for 10 minutes, explaining this to people. And hello to the Horror King. And I have to go on for 10 minutes and explain this to people, about why, because we're trying to avoid, well, this is a scam because you're not showing the movies. Because we're not freaking India, okay? You want the whole movie, go to Pakistan and watch YouTube there, they keep it vague so they can't be sued. Maybe that's the case. Would I consider Elon Musk buying and running YouTube? I know that there are people here on YouTube that would be upset by that. At the same time, I think that we really need, it might get to the point to where we might need him or somebody like him to buy it or to buy a piece of it. Yeah. I mean, but if they would just clarify what these issues are sometimes and where they're getting this information, because what they're doing to Paulie right now is bullshit. It really is, this whole thing about him having a channel taken down before is complete crap. I don't know where they're getting this from. And that's the problem, is that's the thing that needs to cease. That needs to stop. That's part of the problem right there, and I think Tom was right earlier, is that during COVID, when we were under the as I put it, the involuntary house arrest, I don't think they were counting on so many people turning to YouTube the way that they did. And, I tell you, that's when I got involved with YouTube. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning, you know that story. Um, and if they actually had good entertainment, you know, um, on television, because we couldn't go to the movies because the movie theaters were shut down. If they had good entertainment on television, instead of all of these shows that were either telling you that you were a scumbag or telling you to get the jab, I wouldn't have needed YouTube. I would have been fine where I was. But I came here because I found people who were in the same boat that I was. And hello to Enigma Severus. Yeah, if you gotta go to sleep, buddy, I know you've had a long day. That's fine. So yeah, it's not easy uh, running one of these channels because you can have the wrecking ball dropped on you at any time for any reason, and if there's no reason, one can be made up. you know and Tom was talking about this, about not being able to talk directly to a person. Everything is automated, and that's when I start to think that these are bots that are responsible for this. You never know. It has me wondering now how many of my subscribers are bots, because so many do come and go. I have more subscribers right now than I have ever had, and I'm thankful for that. And if I never get another one, that's fine, because I want to entertain the audience that I have. And I like to think that I'm doing that, and that's the reason why so many people have stuck around. But it does make me wonder, sometimes, when it comes to subscribers, when it comes to viewership. And again, this is not me complaining. I'll take what I get, but I am starting to worry about some of this stuff now. How do you know I'm not a bot? Exactly. I could be. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, deleted bots. Who knows? Could be a thing. But yeah, I mean, the point is they make you jump through. They make you jump through a lot of hoops, and there's these very vague, guidelines, and another thing, speaking of bots, is that, we're constantly now having to tell people who are in our chats. And half of these shows are the chats, guys. You make the show. You really do. And we want the interaction. But, one of the things that kind of came up recently, and it's not just on YouTube, it's on other platforms too, because I've had a couple of platforms, send me messages about this, is like, basically this warning of, you have to keep your chat on subject. Now my thing has always been, there are two things that will get you knocked off of my chat, and maybe even the channel. There are two things, two things specifically. Number one is I don't want any racist language in my chat. Period. I won't allow it. You know. And another thing is, you know, I don't want anybody threatening or saying anything nasty about anybody on a panel or somebody who's in a chat or anything like that. I'm not going to stand for that, because someone used my channel once to, you know, go online and threaten another YouTuber, threaten to do some pretty nasty, vile stuff to another YouTuber. So you gotta shut that shit down real quick. So those are the two things. Otherwise, I just assume just let the chat talk about whatever they want to talk about, even if they go a little off subject. But we now have to be careful of that. Because if we're, I always say it like this, you know, if we're watching Blue Thunder, you know, don't start talking about Alice in Wonderland, you know, because we have to be careful about, you know, they'll start thinking that you're bots. And if enough people are kind of doing that, or kind of going too far off subject, you know, we as the creators can get flagged for that, you know. So again, you kind of have to take time out of a broadcast to kind of explain that to people, you know. You know, which I hate doing. It's kind of like policing the chat. I don't want to have to do that. You know, that's why I have Connie. That's why I have the wrenches. You know, wrenches, you're my leg breakers. Do what you got to do. But, you know, we've been, you know, but for the most part, there haven't really been any issues, you know. You know, and anybody who's ever been channel banned, and I've had to channel ban a few people, you know, that's my choice, and I've done that, you know. But and I banned them for the reasons that I explained, you know. But you know, that's you got to do what you got to do. You put the hammer down when it's necessary, but when it's not necessary, which I'm starting to see happen a lot more now, it really does have me concerned as a content creator here, you know, because you know, I come on and I say what I want to say, you know, and I don't hold back, you know. And if I have a guest, you know, on, or if I have a panel, I always say, you know, to come, you know, don't hold back. Like for example, like reserved seats, I let the guest usually take over that show, because it's all about my introducing this person to maybe a new audience that they've never had. So I tend to let them go, you know. I don't, you know, it's long leash, you know, and I prefer kind of doing it that way, you know. But you know, sometimes you have to, you know, you have to go into that and say, you know, come on back, original subject. So that's what it is, guys. And you know, it's and now that they're changing the guidelines, the bleeps, the creeps, and the yeah, you know, you have to be in the sweeps. Yeah, you got to be. We kind of have to be more careful now, because you know they're changing guidelines, they're changing rules right and left. What to do about you know, about, you know, people getting monetized, and what you have to do to get monetized, you know, that that's changing too. And so it's going to be a lot harder for these smaller channels coming up. I got lucky. I came in at a time where they had relaxed those rules. Now it's going to be a lot tougher. They're talking like 8,000 watch hours now, and that's not going to be easy for a small channel. Who was my first moderator? I think it was Connie. It was either Connie or Bill. Honestly, I think it was Bill who was like my first mod, because, okay, here's the story. Now, you all know my my Mystery Movie Night podcast. That started out with me doing like out of the theater reviews, and at that it was Bill first, yeah, and this was back when I had a very small audience, and we used to have a lot of trouble with what we called porn bots that would always like put like these like X-rated websites up in the middle of like in the chat. And Bill was like in the chat, and I think Connie might have been there too. I don't remember, but so I just like, Bill's in the chat going, I know what to do. So I made Bill a mod, and he started like knocking those guys down, and basically. Yeah, that was a rough time, It's not so much a problem now. I see that sort of thing a lot on Letterboxd, because I know my notifications on Letterboxd just kind of like blew up for like a couple of days, and it was all like this, bots putting like these websites down, free movies, this and that, and so I just had to like delete all of those. But that's what happens. You have to. That's another thing too. It's not so much a problem now, but it's kind of the same. It's kind of like the same thing, If you have somebody putting these, if you have somebody putting these porn sites, links to porn sites on your in your chat, or for free movies on your chat, or if people just start going off on these tangents, YouTube will think they're bots. So we have to be careful kind of in our chat, and people coming who are trolls, who are, or bots who are coming into our chat and making trouble. So it's kind of like, it's a lot to watch out for. Anyway, rant for this episode over. And it is time to get down to the main crux of the program, which is what is coming up for the channel in the next week. All right. Let me share screen here, and we will get started. All right, so my first appearance is going to be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Big Al's channel for Baby's Day Out. And this is actually a movie that I had suggested. and Al and I were talking about, because we've kind of done movies with similar themes of late, and we kind of wanted to do a 180 from that. And one of the movies that came to my mind was Baby's Day Out. And this is from 1994. It's Joe Mantegna, Laura Flynn Boyle, Joe Pantoliano, Brian Haley, John Neville, of course, who's Baron Munchausen. He's in this as well. And some other familiar faces that we're going to be pointing out as the movie goes on. And the synopsis as follows. According to Google, Baby's Day Out, a 1994 slapstick comedy written and produced by John Hughes, directed by Patrick Reed Johnson. Movie follows a baby from a wealthy family who is kidnapped by three clumsy criminals, escapes into Chicago, and leads his pursuers on a wild chase. Yes, we're going back to the TikTok to get the boo-boo. Yes, exactly that. So basically, yeah, these three kind of klutzy criminals kidnap this little rich kid. He gets away, and it's basically Home Alone with a baby. You know? And it's a lot of fun, and it's got a lot of my kind of personal humor in it, to be honest. It's a fun film. Haven't seen it in a while. Eddie Bracken. That's Eddie Bracken is in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's got an interesting cast, and kind of an interesting backstory that we're going to go into when we get to the film. Yeah, my dad likes, and my dad did too. My dad actually saw it before I did, and had brought it up, and I finally sat down and watched it. Just had a blast. Hello to the Comic Relief Crusader. Good to see you, sir. Let me whack a mole bot. My favorite game to play. I don't blame you. The chat is jumping. I don't want to leave you guys out here. Is it because you keep kicking yourself off the stream, and YouTube is confused about that? No. No, that's just me not knowing what I'm doing. That's all that is. And you only make 2 cents, I bet, per stream. Sometimes. Yeah. Because the idea is kind of going back into this for a second, is that the payout, the minimum payout is like $100 a month. And sometimes I don't make that. You know, this year has been very tough. But, like I said, I'll take what I can get, It is what it is. All right, so my next appearance tomorrow night, Films with Friends, Baby's Day Out from 1994. All right, let me get on over to my channel, see if there's anything up for Saturday. And right now, As concerns Saturday, I do know that at 4 p.m., I know Pop Culture Minefield will have his regular series, his regular programming. He's about ready to round out Alexander Skarsgård week. One of the things that Gary's been doing this year is a week of films by, starring like the same actor. He just had like a Patrick Swayze week recently. There was a Stallone week, stuff like that. And I don't know what the movie for tomorrow is going to be. I know he's done The Northman already, but yeah. So that'll be at about 4 p.m. Now at 10 o'clock will be Netters Network's Retro Cinema. And this week's movie is going to be The Hudsucker Proxy with Tim Robbins, Paul Newman, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. And it is a collaboration between the Coen brothers and Sam Raimi. It's a very good film. Bruce Campbell's got a part in it. Charles Durning, Bill Cobbs. Good film. Haven't seen it in a while, so I'm looking forward to catching up with that again. And right after that, of course, I'll be heading on over to Outlaw Bill's channel for, of course, his Saturday night karaoke program. Should he be doing that show this week? Yeah. So that will be Saturday. Because I don't want to just promote my channel. I want to promote other channels too. So I know that's up for this week as well. All right, let me share screen once again and get you to Western Cinema Presents. And our next episode is going to be at 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. And this week's movie is going to be McKenna's Gold with Gregory Peck, Telly Savalas, and Omar Sharif. Let me get the synopsis up right now. It's from 1969. Listed as a Western adventure, 2 hour and 8 minute runtime. From the director of The Guns of Navarone, J. Lee Thompson. Gregory Peck stars as Marshall McKenna. And Omar Sharif is the outlaw leader John Colorado. Forces to marshal to lead a greedy group of seekers to a mythical canyon filled with Apache gold. Yes, and Lee J. Cobb is in that film as well, from 12 Angry Men and The Exorcist. Julie Newmar, Catwoman, who just turned 94 recently, is also in that film as well. So, looking forward to that. Music by Quincy Jones. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen this movie. So it's going to be kind of a... it's going to be a first watch for me. It was on TV a number of times when I was a kid. Don't remember if I ever saw it. I'm sure I did. It was just too young to remember. So, because this movie, that was not too long before I was born, 4 years. So, it still would have very much been in people's minds. All right, so for this week, Western Cinema presents McKenna's Gold from the director and star of The Guns of Navarone, J. Lee Thompson, Gregory Peck. McKenna's Gold. hosted, of course, by Outlaw Bill and myself, simulcasting that program. So don't forget to give us a like on both channels. Yes, Julie Newmar is still very much alive and well. Yeah, I didn't know either. I had assumed she had passed, but no, she's still with us. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get on over to the next program of the night. That, of course, will begin the Sunday night block. And this is where I'm afraid things are going to have to get a little serious, guys. And my next episode of my longest running show, Unscripted. And this is going to be entitled The Cheerleader. And of course, as you all know, Hayden Panettiere passed away this week under some circumstances that are a little shady, and I want to talk about that. And I am going to be calling out some people on their behavior, and there's a very serious problem in Hollywood. And I'm not going to go into it here, but there's some very serious problems. We are seeing a lot of these actresses die young. And I'm seeing a trend that I don't like. And I've brought this up before, but we're finding out some things here. And when you're living in a time where a lot of conspiracies turn out to be true, it does leave one to wonder. And I have always strived to be honest on this channel. I like to think that's why I have the audience that I have. And I have said on this channel many times that if I see something or someone that I feel is out of line, I'm going to call them out. So that's what I am going to do this Sunday night at 8 p.m. And you might want to refresh Horror King. That happens sometimes. So, of course, Unscripted is the first part of a block of programming. Right after that, of course, will be Geeky Geezers over on Aged Boomer's channel. And that, of course, is hosted by Boomer with Troy and Honorary Geese at Nutters Network. They'll be talking about the Week in Geek. And I'm sure they're going to be following up my segment as well. So that'll be at 9 p.m. Right after that, you can join me for the next episode of Reserved Seats. And this week I am going to be joined by Rachel, the older millennial. And we're going to be talking all about her channel and kind of her journey here to YouTube, among other topics, I'm sure. And this is the first time that Rachel has been on the show as a solo guest. So please be sure to welcome her on with open arms. I had said before that she was the first time guest. She's actually been on the show once before, but this is the first time that she has been on as a solo guest. So I'm really looking forward to this. And like I said, we're going to be talking all about her channel, her kind of YouTube origins, and the state of entertainment, because I know Rachel's got a few things to say about that as well. So I'm really looking forward to this, guys. This is going to be a fun show. 11 p.m. Sunday night. Stay to the end, and you will be redirected over to Troy's channel for the next episode of his Doctor Who rewatch, season 2, with the true original First Doctor, William Hartnell. So Western Cinema presents McKenna's Gold at 4:30. Episode 160 of Unscripted at 8. Geeky Geezers at 9 o'clock. Episode 45 of Reserved Seats with Rachel the Elder Millennial. And Doctor Who at 12:30. Yeah. Nobody saved the cheerleader, so what does that say for the rest of us? All right. So Monday, of course, will be... all right, here... Well, okay. First things first. Troy Pacelli, of course, if you are a member of his channel, you will be able to join him for the Last Call Members Night at the Movies. I don't remember what movie he's going to do. I know he's already mentioned it. I'm not sure if there's a poll up. Netter, if you're still here, let me know if you have any idea what the mystery movie for Monday night is going to be, because I've either forgotten or there's a poll up that I don't know about. So yeah, there will be a movie. I just don't know what it's going to be. Now, as for the other mystery movie, that gets us on over to Tuesday night, beginning at 7 p.m. And that, of course, will be the next episode of the Mystery Movie Night podcast. All right, so here is the story for this week. Regal does not have this week's mystery movie, but AMC does. I don't have an AMC near me. Now, if my local Cinemark, which is all the way on the other side of town, which is why I don't normally go there. But if they have the mystery movie, I'll see what I can do about getting tickets for that. But as of right now, we're not going to get the mystery movie in my area. But I do know that there are people who appear on our show who do have an AMC theater and go to see the mystery movies there. So, assuming that there are enough of us to do a show with, I'm going to host it regardless. Just like I did the previous time, the same thing happened. I will be hosting the show regardless. And as long as there are enough guests who want to come on and talk about whatever the movie might be, then the mystery movie night will air as per usual, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, I'm hoping to get out to see the new Jason Statham movie, Mutiny, this weekend. I may have to wait until Monday to do that. So that might be my movie for the evening. I don't know. But if I see it before Monday, there will be a review if I have a chance to see it during the weekend. So stay tuned for a date and time on that. All right. So the mystery movie night, 7 p.m. Tuesday. That will lead directly, of course, into the next episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. And this is an episode entitled Wounds and the Scars, which is episode 17 of season 2 that originally aired March 28th, 1991, which was more than a month after they aired the previous episode. And they started to do that a lot to Twin Peaks, having very few episodes as time went by. And I'm sure we'll be getting into that during the broadcast. And this is the episode that introduces Heather Graham into the series as Norma's half-sister, Annie Blackburn. And we're going to be talking a lot about that, I'm sure. And synopsis reads as follows. Again, according to Google, Cooper eyes a reclusive beauty, the aforementioned Annie Blackburn. Truman agonizes over Josie. And if you saw our previous episodes, you know what happened there. And Donna gets a macabre visitor. And Audrey falls in love. With, guess who? Okay. Wounds and Scars, episode 17, season 2 of Twin Peaks. Join us over there as we watch and discuss that episode, along with Troy Netter, Boomer, and myself. That will, of course, be followed by, at 10 p.m., by the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. And let me see if I can find out which episode that was. Let's see. Okay. To Wikipedia, I guess. All right, let me see if I can find this for you. Okay. It's going to make me scroll all the way down, folks. All right, the next episode is going to be the Golden Pince Nez, based on the adventure of the Golden Pince Nez. And this was an episode that was released on March the 21st, 1994. Holmes and Mycroft investigate the murder of a professor's assistant who died clutching a woman's pince nez. Charles Gray returns as Mycroft. And Frank Finley, who you might remember from the movie Life Force, who played the Doctor. He's going to be in this episode as well. So, okay, that's going to be 10 p.m. Tuesday night over on Troy's channel. And yes, also remember that at 8 p.m., I think 8 p.m., yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Connie and Sci-Fi Mombi are going to be interviewing the author Chris Christman for their show. So don't forget to check that out as well. All right. So that takes care of Tuesday night. And of course, as you know, Wednesday, I kind of like to keep that clear. Every once in a while, oh, no problem, Connie. Every once in a while, I'll make an appearance on another program. As of right now, I don't have anything planned for that day. So I'm probably just going to take the night off. And, but that, of course, will get us right on over to Thursday for my next appearance, which will, of course, be Action Theater. And this week, and that next Thursday at 5:30 p.m., Bill and I will be watching the classic 1956 sci-fi thriller Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Let me get the synopsis for that up for you. Even though the title is fairly obvious. All right. Earth versus the Flying Saucers is a 1956 Columbia sci-fi film about Homo aliens and flying saucers who demand Earth's surrender and attack Washington, D.C. Starring Hugh Marlowe and Joan Taylor, and features the stop-motion effects by Ray Harryhausen. Yes. Indeed. I know Connie has run this film on her off-platform series, and I know Bill has been talking about this movie for a while, and we're finally going to get the chance. So join us next Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of Action Theater, the B sci-fi movie classic Earth versus the Flying Saucers. So join us there. Of course, 10 p.m. Thursday things. And then, of course, that's over on Netters Network. And then, of course, you can join me right back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for the next episode of Coming Attractions. Oh. And apparently, I have been gifted a membership over on Price of Reason's channel. Cool. All right. So, thank you all very much for joining me for this program. Those of you who are on X, I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Anyone who might have been lurking in the background, perfectly fine. You don't have to engage with the chat. Just as long as you enjoy the show, hit the like, share out the stream, and all of the algorithmic stuff that YouTube likes. I want to once again thank Clue Studio for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated, sir. I want to thank Bill, Connie, Enigma Thank you, Netter, for the raid. The Horror King, Comic Relief Crusader, FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. I also want to thank Jamie Lynn Simons, JPRPH1, Our Man from the Future, Sashi, our new name, Wakar Ahmed. Hope that you enjoyed the show, sir. All right. Let's scroll up. I don't want to miss anybody. Big Al Presents, of course. All right. And I think that was everybody. That's the show for this evening. Once again, thank you all very much for joining me. If you are anyone who is watching either live or on Memorex, you come upon this broadcast and you like what you see, please feel free to become a subscriber. Channel memberships are also available. And a members-only stream is coming soon. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
Back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews, to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steven out on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.